Travelling through Ireland, you'll soon realise the Irish have a knack for seamlessly blending history into modern life. The medieval city of Kilkenny, on the banks of the River Nore and an hour and a half southwest of Dublin, was once the country's capital. It's now a buzzing cultural mecca with a lively bar and food scene, while still celebrating its rich medieval heritage.
You know, Kilkenny is so great because it's so compact, so it makes it perfect to explore by foot. But what I find when I'm travelling, it's always better to have some local knowledge to help you out.
I've enlisted Pat Tynan from Kilkenny Walking Tours to show me around, and as a born and bred resident, he's well qualified for the job. Overlooking the river is Kilkenny Castle, looming large, so it makes sense it's our first stop.
Welcome to Kilkenny Castle. This was the home to the great Butler family for 600 years. And the family lost the castle in 1929 after the Great Depression. They sold everything off here in 1935 and gave the castle back to the city, including the ground to 55 acres for £50.
50 quid?
50 quid, the bargain of a century.
The city prides itself on its cultural scene and is a hub for both artists and musicians, whether contemporary or traditional. The city's rich medieval history is visible through its narrow streetscapes, alleys or slips, and its beautiful historical buildings.
You've just reached the dead centre of Kilkenny, Kate, but we're at the oldest ecclesiastical site in Kilkenny, and the round towers going back to the 10th century, and then the cathedral opened in 1285.
Tell me about the tower, because it seems very impractical. Why's the door up?
Visitors to our city, they call them chimney stacks, but they had a good use one time for the monks, because if they were being attacked, they were used as lookout or hideout towers. It's 100 feet, and the doors were 10 feet off the ground. Once they got inside, they pulled the ladder up, so it was impossible to get inside.
No good for the leprechauns, that one.
Not that they would, no. Not until after 1759 when Guinness came in. Most of them grew up and they started climbing up there.
Right, come on.
Apart from its rich history and picturesque beauty, Kilkenny is also well known for its lively entertainment scene and buzzing nightlife. But even during the day, there's no shortages of places to drop in for a pint. Sightseeing can be thirsty work, you know.
This is the oldest pub in our tavern in our city, Kittler's Inn, going back to 1324. And the Lady Alice Kittler, who was found guilty here as with her maid and her son. She was married 4 different times, and her 4 husbands died mysteriously. She was also accused of heresy, witchcraft, and there was even a wild story about her flying around her broomstick. And the 3 of them were found guilty in a court, and they were kept in the dungeons of Kilkenny Castle, but the night before, the witch escaped. Now, her son, William Outlaw, was going to be hanged, but he begged for mercy and he escaped from the city. And that left the maid, Petronella. Poor lady was whipped through the streets. She was the first lady burnt alive in Ireland for witchcraft in 1324.
See, that's the thing about Ireland. You have a beer and you get a pretty good story as well, and that's the beauty of Kilkenny as well. Cheers, Pat.
It's not